It always says I'm live before, so I always wait a second. Hey, everybody. Welcome to the Bottom Line. I'm Michael Noland. Tonight is Tribal Forum number 49, where we're going to be reviewing Ozzy Osbourne and Black Sabbath's Back to the Beginning show. Um, Let me turn this down real quick. All right. We were experiencing technical difficulties before I got up here. How am I sounding, first of all? Um, Nice and clear. You know what? I'm noticing tons of new people in um in the chat tonight. It's so good to see you. I'm Michael Noland, and you might be asking yourself, what is the Tribal Forum for you newer viewers? It's basically a format where I get to talk to you in the real live now. I also do my regular videos as well that are kind of planned, recorded, and I release those as well. But this is when I get a chance to talk to what I call the tribe. What is the tribe? The tribe is a group of people worldwide from all corners of the earth that agree to disagree about rock and roll, specifically classic rock. And like I said, tonight we're going to be discussing the Back to the Beginning show that was all focused around either Ozzy Osbourne or Black Sabbath. And it turned out that, quite rightfully so, it was focused on Black Sabbath. They were the last act up, with Ozzy warming him up with some of his own solo material. Of course, they were the last two bands to be up there. What do you guys think that saw this? Was it everything that you hoped for? Or did it kind of miss the mark for you? What did you think of the camera work? Is one thing I'd like to know, because I personally think that's got to be some of the worst camera work I've ever seen. They'd be focusing on a singer, and while the lead guitarist was out playing, or they'd be focusing on the lead guitarist playing rhythm guitar while the singer was busy. And they did that a whole lot. And what do you think about the idea that a lot of people are talking about online right now? Did Ozzy Osbourne lip sync? Because believe it or not, a lot of people are focusing on that. He was probably busted lip syncing before at the American Music Awards back in 2019, where it appeared that he was using another live vocal that had been recorded while he was performing there. Evidently, it was pretty clear in the second verse, right? And the reason I'm even bringing this up, folks, because first of all, I'm stoked about this show. I am so glad that it happened. And there was some good, there was some bad. And like I said in my short, there was just some plain sad stuff up there. Like any big concert like this, I would imagine. But what did you think about the overall quality of this show? Now I'm seeing some super thanks coming up, and I'm going to focus on you guys in just a minute. Michael Boswell comes in. Let me grab these real quick. He said, thank you, $2 super thanks, power of two. We've talked about that. I didn't pay for it, so it was great. All right, Michael. I knew something like that was coming. Let's see. And let me make sure I can get to the next one.
Michael just came in with the super thing.
Yeah, the $2 one. I just acknowledged it, baby. Ben Scheidecker came in with a $5 super thanks before that. He says, I would have rather had an 8 or 9 Black Sabbath song with Ozzy rather than Ozzy's solo set. Further, Ozzy looked strong enough at the end to do more. Okay, Ben, we're going to be talking about that, right? I'm going to hold off some of my comments on this, but yeah, damn right. I would have much rather have seen a lot more Sabbath, because my top 3 songs I was hoping that they would cover never got covered.
Stephen Fox just came.
I see that. And ear splitting. I'll be right with you, folks. I'm catching up. Oh, we got another one. Rockin' Robin Bird. Yeah. All right, folks. I'll get to you. But before you guys even did, and even before Ben Scheideker's comment, we also got one from Oberheim. As a matter of fact, we got that last night. Oberheim says, even though I'm not into Black Sabbath, I respect you enough not to pollute your feed with garbage. You do a goodly job and look forward to tomorrow's stream. We'll talk about polluting the stream with garbage. Very astute, Brandon. Thank you. And a good day to you, sir, from down under. Like I said, we have a worldwide tribe here, folks. And I'm going to get down and catch these real quick that I didn't catch yet. Let's see. I got Michael's. I didn't pay for it, so it was great. I love it. Stephen Fox, how you doing, Stephen? $5 super thanks. The good. They sounded great. The bad. Only a four-song set. The ugly. Axel's voice. Don't get me started, Stephen. Yet you're goading me. I know you are. And the great Tool. You know, I was kind of impressed with them. Um, I bought that Black Tool album. I played the socks off of that, but I never picked up another Tool album. And after what I saw, I'm looking forward to kind of getting back into them. I was just in for a flash, but boy, what a great album that was. I'm trying to remember what it was called. Uh, Great cover, Hand of Doom, and an incredible set. Irger Splitting Loud and Boomer, aka Gear Jam, another $2 super thanks. Swinging the deuce hammer early. Yes, you are, brother. Thank you so much, Gear Jam. And Miss Rockin' Robin Bird, the divine Miss Rockin' Robin Bird with a $2 super thanks saying, I thought the live stream was worth paying for. Yeah, I would say in general, I have some caveats about it. I also wish that the ticket would have included like you should have that for like 4 or 5 days to review it. Because here I'm up on my stream tonight, and I'll be busy over at Royce's right after this. We're gonna be extending this conversation to panel form, folks. All right. So this, I'm up for about an hour, hour 15, hour 20 at the latest, right? And then I'll be over at Royce in the House, brother channel to this channel. We're going to have a panel discussion. I'm sure that Dan McNew will be up there, right? And we'll be discussing this further. All right. So the evening is just getting started. All right. Keep that in mind. All right, guys, thank you so much. This is awesome. So many new ones. Ernest is in, Sinkin Stanley. Chris Elliott's in. How good day to you, sir. Hello, Michael. It was a good show, but there was a lot of vocals that should have been turned up. That was my wife's impression. She didn't really watch too much of it. She was in and out, you know. But when Sabbath and Ozzy got up, she watched that entire section, and she goes, "How come I can't hear their voices?" And that's one of my criticisms as well. So a very good point from Chris there.
Oh my goodness, we get a super thanks.
Did we get another one? Deuces Wild in with a 20. Oh, thank you, Deuce. And to all you new viewers, I always take time out for this. These guys financially support the show, and these guys are going to be aware. This $20 from Deuces Wild, he knows, just like the rest of them that I've called out so far, that I do this for you guys, but I do have to take this time out because they are financially supporting the channel. Um, was let's see, Deuces Wild again with a $20 super thanks. He says was amazing to see those legends back on stage. Basically,
John Foster just came in too, hon.
Okay, I'll get right to him, baby. But I'm in the middle of reading Deuces. Okay. Soft Star all over. Was amazing to see those legends back on stage. Basically, the set list was what we predicted. What you predicted. But yeah, it came close in the poll, didn't we? On one of them, came close, not quite. No Black Sabbath. How could they do a set? How could Black Sabbath do a set without opening the damn set without the song Black Sabbath? Is beyond me. All right. The bands, for the most part, played well, and their Sabbath covers. Also, the supergroups did well. And I will say yes for some of them. I agree with you. But and tonight, that's what I'm going to be doing. I'm going to be doing a quick ranking of each buddy, and keep this in mind, folks, especially you new viewers. I always start the conversation with my opinion. I'm an opinionator. All right. But it's no skin off my nose if you thoroughly disagree with me. If I said that band sucked and you're like a major that band fan, just let it be known. Now, I disagree with you, Michael. Here's why I think they're important, blah, 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 or why they did good. It's a discussion. Nobody should get, too upset about that. All right, so don't forget, we're going to be doing Royce in the house right after this. John Foster, $5. I just love seeing the original four. As a drummer, it was great to see Bill. He did the best he could. All right, and I'm glad, John, you're a drummer. Great, because that was if there is a criticism I had of the band's performance, and what I mean is the instrumentalists of the band. It was probably Bill Ward. What song was it? I have the note on the specific song. I don't want to get lost here, but let me see if I can find that real quick. Um, I know I had it. Let's see. It went in and oh yeah, it was Iron Man. With some mishits on the hi hat, especially. Wouldn't you agree, John? Right? But no worse than what Zach Starkey, decades younger, did with the Who. And you guys know I felt there was way too much made of Zach Starkey's mistake when the real culprit, in my opinion, was Roger Daltrey's mistake out trumping his easily. So good point, John. All right, so troll alert, troll alert. Just to let you guys know, Royce is alerted to this as well. All right. Uh, Someone decided that it'd be a good idea to feature one today on YouTube, and that usually only encourages the idiot to make his rounds. So, don't feed them, please. Don't feed trolls. Good Lord. Do we? 147. 147. We just broke a record. Awesome. That is absolutely awesome. So anyway, I have my tribal marshals out there. Those fellows, those people you see with a wrench. You know who you're looking for. Shoot them down like a dirty dog when you see them. Troublemakers not allowed here. A discussion, a disagreement always. All right. But we're not just going to have the dweebs of the universe leaking in here. A bit of channel business, guys. The channel has grown exponentially just in the last couple of days, well over 200 new subscribers. I'll get to it, baby. Michael Boswell. Bill Ward should put his shirt back on. We were talking about that when we saw that, Michael. Yeah, being either a little bit better shape or whatever. But he didn't want to make a mistake.
Thank you, Deuce. You're always so
Deuce is in with a $10 super thanks. Axel sucked, Michael. Make sure to check out more of Tool's catalog. Yes, I will. You heard me, Deuce. I practically talked myself into it right here on the air, didn't I? You won't be disappointed, I promise you. Was great to see a tribute to Randy Rhoads and see Jakey Lee up there jamming. I thought he did a great job. Yeah, talk about a man who's been ripped off by Sharon and the Osbournes, maybe, huh? Yeah. Not That's not a good tale. There's always an ugly side to in the music business, and for Ozzy, it's Sharon, as far as I'm concerned. Now I know they're in love. I know she's been good for him. He'd probably be dead by now if it wasn't for the woman. But I've never been a fan of her. She's Hollywood, and I don't like the Hollywood crowd. Anyway, so well over 200 subscribers. We are now at 45.6 and well over a third of the way to getting to 45,700 subscribers. Thank you so much. I appreciate y'all. So here's how we do it. Here's how we make it happen. Tell a friend, tell a neighbor, tell a metric, but don't sell England by the pound. That won't work. Merchandise. This is the second mug that I got. Just to let you guys know, I'm not happy with this one. So I've enlarged this, took off this band, and all you have to do is click on the title of tonight's stream, and I'll bet you I didn't set that up. But you can click on the title of any one of my recent videos or streams, and it'll take you to the new design. All right. So get your own tribal mug. As a matter of fact, it was Ben Scheidecker sent me a picture of his, suggesting that we even send pictures in. If you do that and send that to me on email, I'll feature it in a video down the load somehow. Right. And just entitle it Tribal Mug Photo. Right. And I'll try and save those up and see what we can do. All right. Oh, well, good, good. Okay. So basically, um, what did we get? What were we predicting on past streams, right? What we were predicting that first of all that Ozzy would be the last one up, that it was probably going to be Black Sabbath and then Ozzy finishing the show. That didn't happen. We talked about how when Ozzy was going to perform with Sabbath, he'd be performing bits and pieces with them as they did this more massive set. That didn't happen. He didn't perform bits and pieces, and they didn't have a massive set. That is absolutely for sure. Only 4 songs. Last week on Royce, a lot of the panelists had heard that we were going to get 5 songs, and a few people even suggested 5 songs with an encore. All right, and we didn't get that. We got 4. Right. Uh, let's see what else. Yeah, my list was for Sweet Leaf, Black Sabbath, and Changes. Right, and during the day, with the exception of Black Sabbath, I just saw my hopes and dreams whittled away as other people covered this stuff. Right, and you go, okay, what's left for Black Sabbath? I was doing this mental gymnastic. All right, we got a quick, mental discography search. Right, and it was like, what's left for Black Sabbath? And it turned out plenty, and the hot stuff was there. There was no doubt. The 4 songs that were done needed to be done, but I still would have changed one of them for the song Black Sabbath. That's just such essential Black Sabbath. That sets up their entire career, the song. It sets up the album, it sets up their career, it sets up their image, it has their name, it has the album's name. We should have got that song, right? And I was hoping against hope at the end there. I couldn't believe that up went like after Ozzy went, the confetti stuff started happening, and you go, okay, now it's for. And then immediately after that 4th song, it was like the confetti started. I go, no, they wouldn't. Surely there's an encore, and there was no encore, and it was like, damn, what was that all about, right? Now we're also hearing from Sharon that there was a band that was fired before the show, right? And there are several usual suspects in that list. People have been guessing. Ozzy's kid says, no, it's not them. Sharon says, no, it's not them. And at this point, or at least at my last check, there was another band mentioned. I forget what it was. If it's in my photos, I'll grab it. But the only suspect that it could possibly be left was Wolfgang Van Halen. And the reason that he's the only one that's kind of left at this point for me is that because if you remember, they go Wolfgang maybe because he was on the bill. Now he's not on the bill. And then Wolfgang, no, it's because the next day I've got to start my tour. That would have been today. He won't start his tour for another 3 days. from today. In other words, 4 days after the event. So that wasn't exactly truthful.
Oh my goodness.
So what do you guys think? What band? Oh, I see that. What band did Sharon Osbourne fire from this event? Because she's swearing, she swore after this show, I'm going to tell them because their manager's been giving me all kinds of shit and sending messages out into the airways, or whatever it is, right? And she says that whoever it is, the reason they were fired is they were expecting to be paid to show up. And the only thing that these guys got for doing this whole show to begin with was airfare there, transportation cost. All proceeds were to go to the children's hospice that we got like 800 commercials for, right? I mean, it was unbearable to watch. My heart goes out to those children. Oh, but a worthy cause. Let me make sure I didn't. Was it Michael that did it before?
Yes.
Okay, I'm caught up on everybody else. Yeah, Deuce as well.
Yeah.
So let me get to Michael's comment here. Otherwise, I'll get behind. Michael Boswell, $5 super thanks. Thank you so much, Michael. Overall, I was surprised that Ozzy was able to do the 9 song sets. His voice as fairly good. Yes, it was good. I may just have to approach this as you guys are making such great comments, just as a response, because this is further down in my notes. But you know, what song was it? "Mama, I'm Coming Home" on his solo. Uh, he loses it on that song. It cracks, wrong notes, and everything. But here's why I wasn't too upset with that. Michael, was that Michael? Yeah, too upset with that. Michael was just before he had an interaction with the crowd. You know what? This is one thing that really touched Kimberly, my beloved producer and wife behind the scenes. She's the voice you hear. Oh, every once in a while in the background. But she was amazed at the love and the respect that Ozzy commanded from that crowd. That crowd was 100, no, 200% in his corner, right? And I think he welled up and it was time to do the next song and he got in there and that may have weakened his voice and his voice kind of went sour on one of the Sabbath tunes. I'm trying to remember. If we don't get to it on this, I'll have my notes up by with Royce, right? But his voice sounded good. But the only thing is he has his hand, and if you notice, the camera angle is right in front of him. He's got his hands up, you know, and I was hoping he'd sing, "What is this that stands beef?" But you don't see it. Occasionally, you see a side angle come in, right? And it seems like he's in sync, but those guys got time to correct that stuff by the time it gets to you and I. That was another thing I wanted to bring up. Let me get this one from Rock and Robinberg. Maybe Motley Crue with a $2 super thanks. Actually, Motley Crue is the other one that they're thinking that might have been another band that she fired before they were ever done. They certainly fit the profile, if you ask me. That's all I can say. All right. So as we go through these players, what time do we have? About 5:24. I might even get time to get in there and see what you guys are saying. Again, Rival Sons was the first one up. You guys know what I feel about this band. My wife, that was the first time she ever heard him, and she loved his voice. Okay. She thought he had a great voice. That was what kind of came out to her. I've been a proponent of this band all the way, and my generalized ranking is you either get 3 thumbs up or 2 thumbs up, 1 thumbs up, a thumbs down, 2, 3. All right, and a couple of these people broke that record. All right, so I gave them 3 thumbs up. This, to me, this is one of the bands for the future of rock and roll. They held their own real well with giants. That's all I can say. Anthrax, Cry for an Indian. All I can say is it sucks when you get anthrax. You know, I gave him two thumbs down. I've never liked the band ever. All right, it's not my favorite kind of. Like I said, I'm not a heavy metal aficionado. I like classic rock, which includes some really heavy rock and includes what most people would consider heavy metal, right? And I'm a major Metallica fan. And that's definitely by most people heavy metal. But to me, Black Sabbath was never heavy metal. But I come from that generation when none of us called them heavy metal. We just called them heavy rock. And there were three top bands, right? You had Black Sabbath, you had Deep Purple, and you had Led Zeppelin. Now, we talked about this on Royce. Black Sabbath fit in more to a heavy metal for what became heavy metal because of their darker themes, but always misrepresented by those who didn't even bother to read their lyrics. Usually, the demonic was always the bad guy. In other words, they wrote miniature, made for TV horror movies. Remember back in the day, ABC, Thursday night at the movies, William Shatner in Kingdom of the Spider, or whatever, right? So Black Sabbath was excellent at that, and that's the way we kind of all viewed them. A lot of people on the panel, Royce is my gen. Of course, Dan McNew is my gen. Right? We come from that time. We can tell you personally, nobody was using the term heavy metal to describe Black Sabbath. But that doesn't mean I don't like heavy metal bands. It's just that I like a lot of different subgenres. I love prog rock. I love good pop rock. I love heavy rock, Latino rock, horn based rock. I like a lot of things, right? And Black Sabbath would be in my top 10 of all bands of all time, every single time. Okay. So I don't care whether you call them heavy metal or not. They're just great music for me. What's that? We're at 236. Oh, it's good to see it, man. We're breaking the record here, aren't we, darling? 236 people watching. 239. Good Lord. Welcome, all of you. All right. So then we got to Hailstorm. Now, I never heard a damn thing from Hailstorm before. And when they did Rain Your Blood on Me, my God, I'm a fan. Uh, at first, I'm not sure what I thought of her until her voice convinced me. And then I found out, oh, man, she can play a bit of guitar on top of all of that. I loved it. And the drummer was absolutely fantastic. I gave them three thumbs up. I'm looking more into Hailstorm. Color me impressed, folks. Lamb of God. Dear God in heaven, never let me hear another Cookie Monster voice in my life. Um, ugh, I you're not going to catch me with this kind of stuff. So I gave him a definite three thumbs down. That if that's your subgenre, so be it. Some people say that projects power to the message and everything. To me, it just sounds like static. And I understand the artistic approach to it. And if that rings your chimes, more power to you. But I can't. Boy, I was just glad their set was done. Again, we talked about Jake Lee. I gave him three thumbs up for his performance. Jack Black with some talented kids. Those kids were really talented. Where have we seen this before? Uh, I couldn't find enough thumbs up, down for this guy, so I gave him four thumbs down. I'm so tired. He's a hanger oner. Come on, guys. He's a hanger oner wannabe. That's all he is. And I'm just so tired of the Jack Black stuff, you know? Sorry, but that's the way it is. First to get four thumbs down. Alice in Chains. Oh my God. What? They had the worst set out of all the bands. All of you know that would be my favorite grunge band of all time. Alice in Chains was my favorite during the 90s. My God, I think they did such great stuff. The vocalist they got to replace Staley is good. He did well enough. But there were backing vocals missing. See, one of the good things about Alice in Chains is that their wonderful, almost Paul and John Lennon approach to vocals, only done grunge style, where one of them does the harmony underneath the melody rather than doing a harmony over the melody, right? Like John used to do underneath Paul. Well, that was what turned me on about Alice in Chains. That was what Alice in Chains had that most bands never had, on top of a real kick-ass thing. And so those vocals weren't there. Man in the Box, the entire band response or vocal response missing, right? And another excellent. I see that you're splitting. I'll get to you in just a second here.
Oh my.
Oh, he just gave us one.
Oh,
Thank you, brother.
Thank you.
Oh, you did so good.
Oh, that's so
Um,
wonderful.
and then I talk about camera angles. I hadn't been aware of camera angles until Alice in Chains got up. And that's when I noticed, they're focusing on Jerry Cantrell while the singer's singing, and then focusing on the singer when Jerry Cantrell is riffing away. It was horrible. And the camera angles were weird. That whole set, I'll bet you they're screaming into. This was one of the major bands I wanted to see besides Black Sabbath. This one, I actually, out of the original lineup that was offered to us, Alice in Chains. I haven't followed them
Oh.
since they lost their lead vocalist, but I thought, well, let's see what they're up to, and just a bad set, you know. For us, the sound went off right around this time. Did that happen to you? I mean, people were typing in what and so part of the performances were missing for us on that end, and it was worldwide. How about you guys locally here, the tribe, within this channel? Did you guys experience that same thing? We sure did. Another jam bit with drummers for the Red Hot Chili Peppers, Blink 182, and who else was it? Trying to think. Tool. Yeah, it was Tool. Again, I was very impressed with Tool. All right. I think I gave them just a three thumbs up. We talked about them earlier. So I love that jam. There was a drum. You know which drummer kicked ass on that one. Billy Corgan sucked. Okay, I'm a Smashing Pumpkins fan. Uh, I've reviewed some of his latest stuff. Right, I'm a fan, but he sucked. He sucked. Not as bad as some other people, but he didn't bring anything to the show for me. Sammy Hagar still sounds like he's got what it takes to belt it out, and of course, uh, you know. Uh, he's doing Rock Candy by Montrose is where I went right back to when I saw him live doing Rock Candy off that first album, and I went out and bought it the next day. He had me there. Then he started talking to the Birmingham crowd out there, how not everybody's from Birmingham, that this is bigger than this, and the whole crowd went silent. Did you guys dig that? Seems like every time these days when Sammy Hagar opens his mouth, he gets himself into trouble. Then Ghost or Papa Emeritus or Cardinal Copia or whoever. Yeah, three thumbs down. All right. This is not a bad vocalist, not a good one. All right. The Mask is creepy. All right. I've already told you. I've got one artist that, I allow in my canon to dress up and do it kind of down and dirty.
273 people.
Okay. That's cool. Yeah, we're breaking the bank here, aren't we, baby?
Yeah.
As far as viewers. And welcome to each and every one of you. All right, I hope to see you in future streams as well. Uh, but anyway, and that would be Alice Cooper, the whole theatric thing. I didn't really become interested in David Bowie until after, and then I got into his more theatrical post, and it's great and everything. But during the day, I didn't go see him. I'd go see Alice Cooper in a heartbeat. I've already got my album, The Revenge of Alice Cooper, ordered. It's coming out later this month. I'll do a video on that for absolutely freaking sure. But I don't know. What do you guys, if there's any of you that are Ghost fans, I don't get it. All right. I don't get it. He's irritating as hell. Um, then, and you know what? Last week on Sunday, my I had kind of a dual approach. I was going to approach this Black Sabbath thing, and I was also going to approach because the last stream was originally going to be bands who are going to one final show. I've got an article, and we may be discussing this on Wednesday's stream. I'm streaming on Sunday at 5 o'clock Pacific Standard Time and on Wednesdays at 5 o'clock Pacific Standard Time. For those of you who are having trouble being notified, you can always check me out. Oh, well, it's Wednesday at 5 or whatever time it is in your time zone. All right, where they talk about one more Aerosmith show. Okay, a final Aerosmith show. Out of the blue comes the performance of the show. Steven freaking Tyler. Train kept rolling. Whole lot of love. And his voice is powerful. I noticed he couldn't get up there, way up, and so he had some backing vocals doing that, but he got high enough. He's doing with his voice what we've seen Robert Plant do. This was the treat of the afternoon. And the man, you just could tell he had them. He had that crowd right in the palm of his hands. 4 thumbs up for Steven Tyler. No, let's give him 5. All right, he did a great job. Pantera, I'm not a major fan of Pantera, but Dan is, so he'll have more to say, probably more in their corner, right, Dan, if you're out there right now. Uh, However, I will say I really liked their Planet Caravan rendition. So I give them a thumbs up and thumbs down. Cookie Monster versus Planet Caravan type of thing. Tool, like I said, 3 solid thumbs up, and reserve that 4th one till after I get a chance to re-listen to them. But they impressed me. Slayer, half of their members missing, right? Screaming, lunacy, um, along with lyrics like this. I reject this fucking race despite your fucking face, and God hates us all. Well, not all of us, Slayer. That's all I can say. So, firm 3 thumbs down. I'm not gyrated in that way. Ooh, but we're fucking, but we're, oh, and that's the other thing. How many of you saw kids doing this right in front of their parents? How many times was that? Oh boy, yeah, there you go. Anyway, and the word fucking or fucking being just absolutely repeated throughout, like and mother fucking as well as terms of endearment. Hey, it's heavy metal, Michael. Don't question it, right? Um, Guns N' Roses. One,
Oh
two,
my
three,
goodness.
4,
Ben,
5,
you've
6,
been with us
7.
since.
Oh, hi, Ben.
Oh, thank you so
I'll be
much.
right with you. 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. I'm trying to count the thumbs down here, Ben.
Oh,
Can you give me a minute?
yeah. Oh, yeah.
14, 15, 16. All right, Guns N' Roses. All right, the band was fine. You know what I think of Axl Rose?
Oh my
He
goodness.
really uses me crazy, to begin with. I think he's absolutely ruined some great songs by covering them with Guns N' Roses. And I was not impressed with his voice whatsoever, or his presence, or his showmanship. So they were the big Debbie Downer for me that night. Now let me get back to these, because otherwise I'm never going to hear the end of it if I don't read these comments. Who do we got here first? Was that Ben Scheidegger? Yeah, it was Ben. $2. Thank you, Ben. The power of two. Youngblood's cover of Changes sent me goosebumps. Yeah, they did a fine job. I agree. I just wanted Black Sabbath to do it, man. That's one of my favorite Sabbath songs. Yeah. Uh, yeah. Michael Boswell, $2 super thanks. The middle finger is too overused. I mean, it's like, I don't know, but it's like a term of endearment, I hate your motherfucking face, And it was like, yeah, me too, brother. Come here. It's that heavy metal vibe, I'm sure, that I just don't quite get.
One came in with
Hey,
COP4.
yes, and
Wow.
Is it Peru, Paul, that you're from? I'm trying to remember.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, that's a very nice gift. Thank you very much, Paul. I appreciate it. I appreciate it, brother. He's got a wiggling chicken for me. I love it. Then Metallica, loved them, but I'm a Metallica fan.
Yeah.
They went back to the beginning for some of their stuff there. Very hardcore set. They didn't rely on any of the songs that people give them crap for, their original. And maybe they felt, hey, kind of a heavy metal event. Maybe, certain things from the Black Album doesn't need to be here played, that type of thing. Um, like I said before, when Ozzy got up there, I think he did a fabulous job if he was not lip syncing. At this point, I am suspicious. We didn't get enough for me to have looked at that. Uh, and I know that he's been accused of it before, and for good reason. You guys know what I think about Don Henley. This is nothing new to you. I loved Don Henley. I was an Eagles fan. I don't love the man, but as an artist, I like him. As a man, he can shove off, man. But Ozzy, I even like as a guy. You know what I'm saying? And but if there was lip syncing involved, I want my $30 back first of all, and stop that nonsense. Oh, too late. Last show, right? But that was my one criticism. And his kind of flub on Mama, I'm Coming Home.
Joseph.
I just saw that. Joseph, it's good to see you, brother. Yeah, great. And I did get your other $2 super thanks that you gave. Was that the one on Rockers We've Lost? But I did mention in my last stream, he gave us a $2 super thanks. Live and Let Die is Sacrilege by Guns N' Roses. Exactly. Knocking on heaven's door ain't any better. Right? Okay.
Yeah.
So that was my one criticism other than that. And if he wasn't lip syncing for what he did, it was inspiring to watch Ozzy. Ozzy had that place and me and my wife as we watched it. We were in our bed, kind of sit back. We have this nice big iPad in front, and you could just feel his energy, transatlantically coming towards you and inviting you in. I've always thought Ozzy tries to be cool, but he's kind of a geek if you really think about it. Even back in his heyday, he'd go, kind of almost like, or not really, not that, oh God, it was always a half attempt. And I never understood how he could control an audience in his hands like he did. And this is the closest I'll ever get to seeing him. And I could feel it. I could feel that control. There's a magic about him. All right. And then, of course, when we got in to Black Sabbath, I loved on War Pigs. The whole audience hums Tony Iommi's very orchestrational riff. That's a secret about Black Sabbath, folks. You see, it was Tony that would orchestrate. It would be Bill Ward who gave the orchestrational feel through his drumming. Iommi has said that he'd bring a riff in and flush it out with Bill, kind of giving it that feel to it. But his riffs were quite orchestrational. And on War Pigs, the whole crowd, and they did it loud enough that I would love a recording of that, you know, because it really transcends that song. NIB, dead on. I loved it. Iron Man, like I said before, some mishits by Bill Ward is what I felt. Or actually, I saw dead on. Well, actually, I don't think they were focusing on him, but I heard it. And it was a little tipsy. But when you consider what Bill Ward's been through and everything, he gave us a rock solid um, performance, if not a jaw dropping performance. He was there, he supplied, he was part of the band, he did it. And with everything that he's had to go through, the fact that he did it is the miracle. All right. And of course, the song Paranoid absolutely had to be played. That wasn't not going to be played.
Oh
Right.
my goodness.
Hey, Josh.
Josh came in again with us. Oh, thank you so much, Josh.
I love this. Josh says he gives me a $5 super. Thanks, thank you so much. Black Sabbath sound was rooted in bluesy based rock, right? And with elements of psychedelic and hard rock. But the early '70s critics labeled them downer rock. The early '70s critics wouldn't give them the time or day, them or Led Zeppelin. It was, we're talking about Paranoid. Paranoid made them in England. Over here, they wouldn't play them to save their lives. We found them over here in America. We found them. Was it Paranoid? It may have been Paranoid, or was it the Black Sabbath album? One of the first two albums got up to number 12 by word of mouth on Billboard. That's like going number one with some actual backing and some nice, critical reviews of those albums, right? So, much like Led Zeppelin, Led Zeppelin had to catch on pretty much word of mouth. They couldn't get a good review to save their lives, brother.
Glasgow just came.
Hey, Brett Glasso, who I'm no longer mispronouncing his name, right? $5 super thanks. What did you think of Nuno Battencourt at the show? I may have missed that one. I don't know. Let me know what you thought. Let you. I was in and out. I saw probably 98% of that show, right? But I was also writing and taking notes and everything. I may have missed out on it. What are you trying to bring up, brother? Let me know, because I want I want some input on that. Okay. All right. So let's get back to here. Who wasn't at the show? No Judas Priest, no Def Leppard, no Soundgarden, no surviving Rush members, no Wolfgang Van Halen, no Korn, no Motley Crue. And yet we had a lot of bands that would probably, if you really just got right down to it, are B-level bands, kind of sandwiched in between the more A-level talent. All right. Okay, so I want to get over. I think that's pretty much the highlights. Steven Tyler. Okay, I had a little list here. The highlights for me was Steven Tyler, Hailstorm, Sammy Hagar, Rival Sons, Metallica, the House Band, some of that shit, Ozzy, and Black Sabbath. Right, all great. Anthrax, Jack Black, Lamb of God, Slayer, Guns N' Roses, Ghost, Gojira. Billy Corgan, is that who you were talking about? Okay. Alice in Chains were the low parts for the show for me. All right. $30 it cost me. As long as I find out those, that everybody was on the up and up, there isn't any of, magic tricks up the sleeve that we find about later. It was a bargain. $30 to see the last, far too short of a set, half hour, 31 minutes and some odd seconds total from that bell, right? What is it? Almost 32 minutes. And by the time the band starts playing, it's about a half hour. So, what did you guys think of it? What was it? Did it ring your chimes? Are you more of a heavy metal fan than me and you love it and you just gotta, you couldn't get enough? Because I'm going to tell you, all the testimonials on this show, all of the crowd reaction, the head banging, and all of that going. I mean, I'm not one of those. Maybe you are. Maybe you're a heavy metal. All right, man. I'm trying to find room for my next tattoo. I don't know. But if that's you and it really rocks it, then you're more of an expert on this subgenre of rock than I am, right? But you're not more of an expert on Black Sabbath. I'll guarantee you that. I love this band. Of course, I see Black Sabbath uh, as a heavy rock band, and we've talked about it. We'll probably bring this up tonight on Royce because right after this stream, I'm gonna shut down for about 15 minutes, and then I'm on Royce, and we're gonna just extend this whole thing. Royce and I are doing a double episode tonight for you folks, and we're really gonna get intricately involved in this. So I want to see you all over there, right? But but to me, Black Sabbath was. Uh, you know, they were a heavy band, but they were also the people that were up there at the show. I'm not one of those people that went on with Black Sabbath when Ronnie James Dio came along and the different other incarnations. I just lost interest. I did. I lost interest in Ozzy's solo career. To be honest with you, didn't buy Ozzy, didn't buy Sabbath after Sabbath didn't have Ozzy. That's just the way it was. Then Patient Number Nine came out, Ozzy's 13th solo album, and I loved it. And Royce has been hammering on me to get in with Ozzy. Now, see, when his songs were on the radio, I never turned them off. I loved them, but not enough to go out and buy the album. It sounded light pop metal to me, kind of. His solo career, a lot of it did, or at least the stuff that was getting the heavy rotation. Maybe you folks, I'm reassessing him. All right. I'm going back. I'm going to get his albums. I collect vinyl now. I've got a small collection. But yes, I will be getting Ozzy Osbourne's solo career. I finally kind of made the leap for him. Still not interested in Black Sabbath's other incarnations without Ozzy at this point, but maybe some of you are. All right. So let me get over here and see if any of you are saying anything really interesting here. Donna the Frank, it's good to see you. Axel was horrible. Band was great. My sentiments, exactly, Frank. Absolutely. I agree with you. That was it. I love Slash. Oh, God. And he was playing some great stuff, too. But then there's Axel. You know, Brian Bingham says Ozzy is my favorite vocalist in Black Sabbath. Me too, and the only vocalist for Black Sabbath for me, obvious. Ben Chat.
Oh my goodness, Ben just came in again.
Did he? Oh, good.
Thank you so much, Ben.
Oh, $5 super thanks. Thank you, Ben. I appreciate it.
Always so wonderful.
He says, "What are the implications from this show? Will more bands stream their concerts? In my opinion, Sharon robbed us from a bigger Sabbath set and will profit. Well, anything Sharon touches profits. And, it's interesting how she made her statement. I fired a band, you know. I like to do her as Ozzy. Well, I fired the band, you know how Ozzy's hard to understand sometimes. Well, Sharon, I want a chicken sandwich. What? I want a chicken sandwich. He wants a chicken sandwich, Mom. But anyway, notice how she timed her little announcement just before the show, and then tied the fact that after the show, I'm gonna make. I haven't heard anything today, right? Maybe it's connected to a book deal, brother. That's all I can say. Anthony Headway, Sharon touches everyone's profits. I don't buy her. I don't. Yeah, like I said, she sits down with the same Hollywood crowd, the same Hollywood talk shows, the same. You got, you know what I mean. Just the Facts Man says Ozzy was easier to understand yesterday, and you know what? Dan, yesterday that statement held just as much truth as it does today. And the day before. All right, brother. Let's see. Who else? Caitlin, good to see you out there. Josh, Sabbath with Dio and Ian Gillan were good albums too. Wow, you like the Gillan album. Over on the panel, a lot of people, that's not a favorite album. by most of them over there. I'm not crazy about it. I've said I'm afraid that album will get up in the middle of the night and murder me in my bed. That album cover. Ooh. Walt Blankenship. Hey, my brothers and my brother. First time viewer of you. I admire your input and your commentary. I love the comment on Slayer, on the Slayer set. Yes, God does hate us all. My brother. God bless you, my friend. Hey, it's so good to hear from somebody new. And usually on my Wednesdays, you're going to get me to interact with individual comments because I only got about an hour, a little hour and change to do it on Sunday. But I'm so glad I happened in on that. Welcome, Walt. Welcome to the tribe. Basketball Jones, another
Oh my
new
goodness.
person I haven't seen before.
Michael just came
Oh,
in.
Deuce, I'll get
Michael,
right to you.
how much
Thank you, brother. A $5
oh,
super, thanks.
that's so
Basketball Jones
cool.
says, what started as a true Sabbath final show with Bill turned into an Ozzy farewell, which is fine, but typical Sharon. Yeah. But you know what, basketball? I'll tell you one thing, at least because we were wondering about this on Royce's and on my stream last week. Is Black Sabbath going to do it? And then Ozzy will finish the show with his solo career. And that would have been inappropriate. I am glad the show focused and led up to Black Sabbath. Many people say, well, yeah, but Ozzy in many ways had a more successful solo career. Shouldn't he have been, by all rights, no
Oh
matter
my
what you
goodness.
think,
Deuce is wild
the head of
today,
the
man.
show, right?
Oh, thank you,
I'll be right
sister.
there, Deuce. I got to get down here and get a hold of both of these. Uh,
Oh,
let me
that's so
see here.
nice.
Did I get? Yeah. Deuce is wild.
Oh,
He says, Dio, no mention. No Tommy Aldrich, Bob Daisley, Ian Gillan, Glenn Hughes, or Tony Martin. Brian May was sitting in the crowd, but a no show on stage. Yeah, a lot of people missing. But you got to think who they're dealing with. If you're friends with Ozzy on a first name basis and you get led right to the master's chamber, I'm sure, it would have been an easy show. But if you have to get through the front door, security, which is often Sharon, that can be a problem for different artists because she gets a hard on for some folks, right? And she's known to take, well, you know, right down your throat. Not one of my favorite women. But again, as a couple, they're in love. It's been good for Ozzy. Wonderful. I'm glad. I really am glad for the both of them. But I don't have to be a fan of Sharon because I'm a fan of Ozzy, right? Deuce is wild in with a $2 super thanks. Thanks, Deuce. I'm hearing the band kicked off was Soundgarden. Now, I saw that too. Yeah. So there is a list of suspects, and we'll find out what it is and what is their response. Because just because Sharon says something don't necessarily make it so, in my humble opinion, folks. Plain and simple. All right. Okay, folks. So I'm going to finish this up. We're going to be on Royce right after this. Please join us right after this because we're going to get into things that I did not have time to get into tonight. All right. I'm Michael Noland. This is the bottom line. This has been Tribal Forum number 49. Join me for Tribal Forum number 50 on Wednesday. I think we're going to talk a little bit about Aerosmith and whatever we didn't cover and whatever comes up with Sabbath. I won't let go of this until this story is truly dead. All right. I'm hoping to see you in about a half an hour from now. It gives me time to put the air conditioning on. It's noisy, and cool the studio back down. And I'll be right up with Royce. All right, folks, and a big welcome to all you new subscribers. A big thank you to all of you who gave me 155 thumbs up. That means the stream got 3 separate bumps just while it was going. That's amazing. 224 of you still with me at the end of my stream. We hit numbers tonight we've never hit before. We were bumping up there, getting close to 300. Never thought it happened to me. All right, guys. You guys all rock. You know how much I love you. You know that. This is almost a family, what we got here. For you new folks, hang around, get to know some of the folks in the chat. They're all good people, right? We're gentlemen and we are gentlewomen here, right? We come from all walks of life. We don't agree politically. We do not agree philosophically. We don't agree on terms of religion or non religion, but we do agree on one thing. We all love classic rock, and there's plenty to argue about within the bounds of classic rock. We don't need to get into other things. Let's have some fun. Be fair minded, be respectful in your comments. I always ask that, right? And let's make this tribe grow. All right, I'll see you in 29 minutes on Royce in the House. That's ROYCE in the house. All right, just type it in and go on over there if you're brand new, and we'll continue this silly discussion there. All right, folks, night.